Hi, I'm Irving, and I have no life, just like you.
Day 578. I haven't slept in 3 days. I just ate 6 bugs in alphabetical order, starting with Carabus auronitans and ending with a dessert of Tetrix undulata. The information I've uncovered from my automated deciphering has me closing in on the location of this event. An event I believe to be the opening of the vault. Echo Recorder and I are not together anymore, but I wish him the best, and we remain friends, so that I can keep recording these messages. He agreed, because we need to complete what we set out to do, and document the intensive search for the mythic vault. It's not a myth. It's real.
Patricia Tannis is easily one of the most interesting characters I've ever encountered in a game, or just about anywhere else for that matter. She knows she's losing her marbles, and she's accepted it, but even then she's fully convinced she's better than you. She's desperate for human contact, but she likes to make a habit of telling people how superior she is. Somebody needs to tell her that's not the way to make friends. Maybe the Echo Recorder could do that. I suppose their breakup was inevitable, their personalities just clashed. But I'm glad they were both adults about it and chose to stay friends for the sake of a higher purpose. Very grown-up and noble of them.
Day 616. Sometimes I wish I had never been given this assignment and never come to Pandora. Dahl has asked me to leave. The transmission said it's time to go. Everyone has left.
Uh-huh. And? Why is it still rolling and there's nothing coming out? Say something! I have no idea what that was about. I don't know if she was supposed to be choked up and couldn't talk, or if the program glitched on me again. Either way, let's keep going. There's a bunch more of these to find.
Day 653. Today is my birthday. I've been alone for an incalculable amount of time. A convict accidentally crossed over into my encampment this morning, and I allowed him to look about before I shot him in the back several times. I was immediately filled with regret upon doing this, because the human contact, no matter how awkward, would have been nice. I've decided his name was Leslie, and he had a troubled childhood where people would make fun of him for having a girl's name. And the torment eventually led Leslie to a life of crime and debauchery. There was a tattoo on his bum that looked not unlike the name Patricia. I might have imagined the tattoo. The experience compelled me to move the vault key fragment I found so that it can be safe. It's extremely important, so I've given it to the man known as Crazy Earl. He's not crazy. He doesn't like people. The vault key will be safe with him. I also gave him my underwear.
Well, we know how that turned out. She gave it to Crazy Earl, and he, under some duress, gave it to Crom. This is why we can't have nice things. That says the recorder looks like it was beaten with a hammer. I hope the message is going to explain that.
Day 684. I seem to be unable to leave camp anymore. I've collected all of the information I need to be able to find the vault, but I'm overcome with terror and instantaneous paralyzation upon any attempt to leave my confines. I believe I have some kind of psychosis. Whatever it is, I'm a prisoner of my own jail, and I will not be able to find anything without help from an outside party. I will put out feelers to see if I can get someone on this rock to grant me assistance. Perhaps I can send an off-world message to attract some vault hunters. Some company would be lovely.
It didn't. Oh well. No matter what an arrogant snob Tannis is, you can't help feeling bad for her with that recording. We're not supposed to have played Borderlands 2 yet, so we're not supposed to know that she got out of there and made it back to Sanctuary. They're to send you off on more missions that she already believes you're too thick-witted to accomplish.
Day 718. I woke up outside the camp today. I don't know how I got outside, but I seem to have overcome my inability to leave. This will be my last recording before I scatter the Echo recordings as far as I can. My Echo Recorder has clearly gone crazy, and if I'm not careful, I too might go insane. I will come back and resume my research when I have rid myself of this two-timing recorder. This is Patricia Tannis, signing out.
I get everything except scattering the recordings all over the planet. I don't really understand why she did that. But it doesn't matter because we finally have all of them. Next mission? Well, the bandits are developing some kind of new religion and Mr. Johns doesn't like it. They have some sacred books and you're to go burn them, because that sort of thing has always worked so well on Earth. There's not much to shoot at on the way to the first one, just a few spider ants. That surprised me a little. I expected some bandits at least, since these are their sacred scriptures we're burning. That was a delayed reaction. Or did it have to wait until the book was completely consumed? That hasn't been a thing so far in this game. Whatever the case, let's move on to the next one. It was the same here. No bandits guarding it. For supposedly being sacred books, the bandits don't seem to care much about them. It was the same with the third one. Drive up, set it on fire, mission accomplished. I expected more. We did some more busy work missions, then returned to New Haven to turn a bunch of them in. This is the Circle of Slaughter. The goal, as you can see, is to survive the round. The last time we did this, it was nothing but various kinds of skags. Let's see if this one is more interesting.
It's time for another
I'm gonna say yes, it's definitely more interesting, not to say chaotic. This is hard. They're coming from every direction, so watch each other's backs and be ready to heal each other. Beyond that, keep shooting and make good use of your special abilities. That's all I can tell you. Load up with ammo again, check our shields, and it's time for round 2. This one didn't go so well. No way. She had that bruiser. He should have been finished way before she was. That happens a lot in this game. You'll have an enemy down to 0, but for some reason his finish will hesitate just long enough for you to run out of time. It really seems like unfair play, and it's a consistent thing. Like the game is set up to keep the enemy from dying if you're below a certain health level. That's the only explanation I can come up with for why it keeps happening so regularly. If round 1 was hard, round 2 is an act of self-abuse. It's mostly bruisers and badass bruisers, and there's roughly 50 of them, though I may have counted some of them multiple times, because it seemed like they were everywhere. The good news is, if you can start taking them down, they won't respawn when you do. When you return to the arena, you're only facing what was left of them when you both died. Otherwise, one could very well be stuck in this thing forever. Round 3 is only for the clinically insane. So naturally, here's a clip of us playing it. Though not for very long, as you can see. This one goes way past crazy and all the way into why do we do this to ourselves territory. But like everything else, it can be done. You may be older than I am by the time you do it, but it can be done. Now, can we go after Crom? I'll take that as a yes. Where is he? I think maybe I found him. Taking him down was easier than I expected. He has this big turret that can do some serious damage, but he can only point it one way at a time. While I drew his attention with fire from in front of him, Beck went around to the side and attacked him from there. As we know from Brothers in Arms, that's called flanking, and it even works on other planets. Next, you have to fight your way up to where he was so you can get the underwear vault key piece.
You found another piece of the key without my help. Or did you? I'm always watching you, friend. Be careful. Others are starting to see their own opportunity.
Fighting your way out of there is almost as crazy as fighting your way in, but now it's time to go turn this in.
Pierce was explaining something to me, but I wasn't really listening to her droning British warbling. I did catch that you have gathered another of my vault key fragments. Whatever else you're doing is unimportant, and I don't want to wait, so bring it by immediately.
Yes, sir. We were headed that way anyway, but I'm not about to tell her that. Take it back to her and she gives us directions to the next piece. For this one, we need to go to the trash coast and talk to a claptrap. It'll open the way to a guy named Taylor Cobb.
You killed the ugly one. I asked Pierce to give you Class A clearance, and she declined, so I stole her robotic arm until she'd give it to you. You should have little trouble moving forward. Are we friends? I think I would enjoy that.
Sure. And I won't get jealous like that echo recorder did. Before we moved on, we went back to New Haven because we got word that Helena Pierce had more jobs for us. Indeed, she did.
Element around here. Dr. Tannis has always been very interested in isolating herself. She makes it difficult for me to trust her.
Really? I hadn't noticed, O Master of the Obvious. Then he announced that the Middle of Nowhere Bounty Board also had new missions for us. Just can't seem to get a good head of steam going on the main story. We'll see if that changes any next time. Until then, I'm Irving and I have no life, just like you.